Okay, so today we're going to talk about vendor-based bill approvals. This is a new feature in Sage Intacct since Release 1, 2025. So I'm going to show you how to enable this functionality and how to mass update your vendors if you want to switch to using this approval method. Okay, so under configuration of accounts payable, you would first things first, you would switch on bill approval, or if it's already switched on, you would go to your approval policies and choose vendor-based approval as your option, as your rule type. Once you do this and save the configuration, you'll be able to navigate to your vendors. I'm going to take ADP as an example. And then under the additional information tab, you'll have the bill approver option. So when I hit the drop-down list of values, I can see users and I can see user groups. So user groups will give you the ability to assign multiple users as an approver on any invoices that come from this vendor. Now, it won't have to be both approvers, but at least it allows you, whoever gets there first can approve the bill. So in order to see a user in this list of values, they have to have the ability, the AP permission of approve bills or approve invoices. So that permission, once they have that permission, they appear in this list of values. So I'm going to choose the user group. Before I save the record, I'm just going to show you where user groups are created. So if you navigate to company groups, this is where you would add a new user group and then assign members. So I can look at this utility approvers group that has been created, click on the members. I can see Mike and Emma have been assigned this group. And when I set up the user group, a good tip is to, in the description field, to actually list the users or the user IDs of the users that are currently assigned to that group, keeping in mind that you can always edit the description field. So if a user leaves or a new user is added, you can just edit the description. It comes in handy when you click on this list of values, you're able to see, okay, utility approvers, this includes Emma and Mike. That way you know you've made the right decision on which group to assign. You'll notice as well that from this list of values, I can't navigate to the groups. A lot of the times when you click on a drop-down, you can actually navigate to the setup of that. So in this particular case, it's a GL account. I can actually view the GL account and navigate to the setup of the GL account. But for the bill approvers, I don't have that ability. So this again makes the description even more handy for multiple approvers because you can see who belongs to that group. So for ADP, I'm going to leave it as the utility approvers, save the record. One thing to keep in mind while this is saving is that if a vendor doesn't have a bill approver specified, then that vendor is not going to go through approvals. I'll show you that in practice. So I'm going to select bills. I'm going to add a new invoice, and it's going to be for ADP. This is a multi-base currency environment, so I'm just picking the currency because I'm at the top level. Pick my location. Okay, so now my expectation is when I submit this for approval, it's going to be submitted and it's going to be utility approvers. So it's going to be notifying the members of that group, and then whoever gets there first can approve the bill. So now I'm going to add a new bill. I'm going to pick another vendor because I didn't update many vendors. So that I know this vendor, we can just double check, doesn't have a bill approver specified. So what I expect in this case is that the invoice is going to be posted straight away and not require any approval. So I hit submit. And so for the Lenovo invoice, I expect it to be posted, and it is posted. So now, if this is functionality you've just switched on, given the fact that this is how it works, if you don't specify a bill approver, the invoice goes to posted, you might want to consider doing a mass update of your vendors. Now, typically what you would do is you would navigate to your vendors, you would create a view. I created one called with bill approver. I'd go and edit that view, add the bill approver to this list, and then export as a CSV for import. However, we can't do that yet with this particular field. This is a new field, and it's actually not available to add to my view. So I'll just show you there's no bill approver in this list of values. So I did open a ticket with Intacct, but it's not something that is been implemented yet. So the workaround for this would be to create a report so you can see which vendors have bill approvals and which vendors don't. Now, if this is brand new, you know that your vendors don't have any bill approvers. You can just do a mass update of all of your vendors. But if there's a certain scenarios where you don't want to necessarily override the vendors that already have a bill approver, but you don't know who those vendors are. So in order to determine who the vendors are, I would suggest a quick custom report. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. So I've navigated to custom reports. I'm adding a new report. I want to do it on the vendor object. And then here's my bill approver. So I want to add that, and I've just got vendor ID and vendor name, which is perfect. So I'm going to save this as with bill approver, save the record. Oh, I already have a report like that, so I'll just make it unique. Version 2, save. Okay. So here's my bill approver report. I'm going to run it. So we can see some vendors already have bill approver groups or users assigned to them. So you might not want to update all of the vendors. The second problem we have is, what is this field name? So it's very easy when you can go from the lists and you can go export CSV for import, because Intacct will export the information with the correct field names. But again, there's no bill approver on the list. So another workaround would be just to navigate to your import data and download the template for vendors. So I've downloaded it already, so I'm just going to open it here. So here's the bill approver ID. So this is the field that we really want. So now I know what the ID is. And what I can do is I can delete all of the unnecessary fields, because all I want to do is update the bill approver ID. Delete the unnecessary fields, download my custom report, put it in my new template, specify the approver IDs in terms of the user IDs of who you want to be bill approvers, keeping in mind you might want to have a default approver for vendors where you haven't quite decided who's going to approve it, but you don't want no one to approve it. So you might want to do a mass update. Another thing that might be good to do is create a smart rule to ensure that when a vendor is created, a bill approver is always selected. Smart rules can be found by navigating to platform services and then smart rules. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you.